Pray with me. Gracious God, as we come to you this day to begin another session of the Carl Junction Board of Alderman, we ask that you impart upon us your wisdom and guidance so that we may promote justice, assist those in need, and provide for the overall well-being of the citizens of Carl Junction. Amen.
Thank you, Steve. Next is approval of the agenda. Are there any comments, changes, corrections to the agenda?
I'll make a motion, we approve the agenda's type.
Second. There was one typo in there, but
You let it
nothing
go.
substantial.
Motion by Roger Spencer, second
I
by
meant to copy it today.
Liddell, to approve the agenda as presented. All those in favor, please signify by raising your right hand. 5 in the affirmative with 3 absent. The agenda is approved. Next is the approval of the consent agenda, which is the approval of the minutes of the previous meeting on September 3rd and approval of disbursements. Are there any comments, changes, or questions to the consent agenda?
I do have a question.
Go for it.
On the expenditures, what is conservative, C-O-N-S-E-R-V-I-C-E? I'm pretty sure that's how it was. There were several entries.
Yep.
With individual names, but I did not know what those were. And I didn't recognize any of the names, so I don't believe it was like a withholding, like a garnishment or something.
No, it's not anything like that. Give me a second, let me just send it.
Sorry.
No, that's a
I
good
saw-
question.
I
Good
saw
question.
it early, but I knew you were out. And I think I texted Steve, but I don't even know if I can send.
No, I talked to you. Which ones were you?
Concerts, I just can't remember what concerts is. Okay. That was a one-time thing. We had a landlord that has I'm assuming some sort of bookkeeping service. And for a couple of months in a row, they paid people's bills when they should not have.
Okay.
And they called and wanted refunds all of the bills that they should not have paid. So
Okay.
that's what those
I
were.
was gonna say there was a lot of them, so I just want to make sure.
Yes, so that was a one-time thing.
Okay. Well,
All right.
with that, I move that we approve the consent agenda.
Second.
Motion by Don Allen, second by David Butler, to approve the consent agenda. All those in favor, please signify by raising your right hand. 5 in the affirmative with 4 absent, 3 absent. The consent agenda is approved. Next is public forum. Anyone wishing to speak at public forum? Yes, please. I'll read this and then. All persons wishing to speak to the mayor and board of aldermen during the public comment portion of the meeting should come forward one at a time and stand at the podium, then state your name and address and the subject matter you wish to comment upon. All comments should be directed to the mayor in a civil manner. Comments are limited to 5 minutes unless the mayor or board of aldermen grants additional time. It is the mayor's responsibility to make certain these rules are followed and to maintain order and decorum. If you have a question, the mayor and board of aldermen may, of course, provide an immediate response. However, the mayor and board of aldermen may also provide no response or a response at a later time as they deem appropriate.
Okay.
Please.
Hello, thank you for the privilege of speaking. My name is Wanda Jackson, and I live at 605 Rose Lane at this present time. We are selling our house, and we are in the process, we have rented a house, our duplex over in Briarbrook Lane, West Briarbrook Lane. I was told when I would come down and do the water deposit for the Briarbrook Lane that my deposit would be $125. And I said, well, I've already paid $50. And they said that for rentals, it's $125. My complaint, or my feeling is that I've been a paying customer since 2013, and I've never been late. And I just feel like I'm being punished because I'm renting. And I just would like just to air my feelings and just say that I don't feel it's right. So that's all I have to say.
Okay, wait a second.
Okay.
You want to explain that Elena?
Yeah, that has been in place for longer than I've been a city clerk, but the reason behind that was it is easier for us to collect when people own a home. There are title searches to go through if there is an unpaid utility bill. We don't have that same recourse necessarily with renters, and there tend to be, we have more people that move out without telling us when it's a rental home. That is across the board. Anyone that rents is charged a $125 deposit, and it's not specific to.
I understand that, but I just feel like if you've been a long time paying customer, that you want to have some leniency with that. And whether it's, I know it's policy, and I understand policies. And I just wanted to air my feelings, and whether it's anything done with or not, I just feel like that I shouldn't have to pay another $75 because it'll be there a long time, and I would not run out on anybody's bill. So that's all I wanted to say.
Okay.
Okay?
Anybody else want to comment on, if this is a policy we do for all renters. I understand what you're feeling on that, I know. Anybody else want to comment on it? Carol?
I think maybe we should have an exception to the rule once in a while, take something like her case where she's been a long time resident. She's merely downsizing and staying in the area. If we look at something by a case-to-case basis, if they've been there, that many years, never been late, never missed anything.
I worry about a precedent. Mr. Talley?
I really think that puts your city clerk on the spot to make these calls, and she's going to have a hard time distinguishing between somebody like herself who is not a problem and the next person who may be.
Yes, I understand. I just want to air my feelings. And I was told I could come here and air my feelings. And so that's what I'm doing. And I didn't know if anybody knew that if you owned a home, you only had to pay $50, and to rent a home, to be a paid rental, you have to pay $125. I didn't know if you all knew that. And so, like I said, I just come here to air my feelings, and no grievances.
No, I understand what you're saying. You would not believe how many checks I sign every month on people that are moving in and moving out of Carl Junction for the deposits, getting back on them. You don't think people move around a lot?
This person's not going to move.
I understand. Yes, Lon.
And I understand, like say the clerk, we set the policies. And
Right.
so, she's got to go by those. And I know it's kind of a unique situation with yours but if we get people that do downsize into that, the only thing maybe if it's something that codes want to look at to see if we could do something and spell it out very clearly, but without a change to the code.
Yeah,
we can't do it.
Doesn't help her right now either.
Yeah.
Right.
But maybe in the future, if you have more people that are going to do that and downsize and go to a rental, but yeah, a lot of time, it's kind of a unique.
Yeah.
Thing.
Elena.
For the record, I had worked for the city for nearly a decade when we first moved in town. I paid the same $125 deposit, and you could have garnished my check had you to. I paid the $125 deposit, and I worked. I rent, and I also paid the deposit.
Yeah, but had you owned a home? See, that's what I'm saying. I owned a home, and now I feel like I'm being maybe not punished, but for staying in Carl Junction, which I really love, Carl Junction, but I feel like I'm being punished because I'm going to be renting. So that's all I wanted to say. So thank you.
Thank you. I know you're not very satisfied.
No,
Thank you.
I didn't think I'd get any results, but I
Oh, you've
come in with
listened to our meetings before then.
No. to say my feelings, and that's what I was told. I needed to come here and say them.
I'm glad you did.
All right, thank you very much.
Anyone else like to speak in public forum? Last call for public forum. Very well, then, we'll move on to approval of bids for topsoil for Country Club Park.
In your packet, we had two bids for the dirt work we're going to do at the park to make it more livable for teams out there. At NIP Enterprises, $25,435, and then Elements Construction, $43,450. Those are the only two that we got in. It was advertised and on our website, and I even actually directly solicited several others too. So I would recommend that we go with at NIP Enterprises.
Zona.
Quick question, because I don't know if I can swallow approving either bid. And it's something that I've been saying for like 4 years, whatever we needed to get done. Is that a bid just for hauling, or does that include the dirt?
No, the dirt we get for free.
So that's
spread-
just to haul it.
Yeah, that is to haul it, spread it, and hydro seed.
And hydro seed too.
Now, what if we didn't hydro seed them? That's why I'm wondering if we need to reject and try to go out. I mean, I know hydro seeding is better, but as bad as that situation is over in there, I really have a hard time swallowing spending that much money on there. But it's unusable the way it is, pretty much.
Well, the problem with, if you don't do something on top of the dirt, and then we get a really good rain, then
Well, that's why I'm
you
wondering,
lose $25,000.
how much would it be though, just to seed and straw? I mean, is it going to be about the same if we just seeded it and then shot straw, or any idea?
Yes, basically, because then you have to buy the straw too. And with hydro seeding, you're getting, moisture, which we desperately need, fertilizer and seed all in the same shot.
Well, and I had questioned this before, and I was told that that was too much of a gray area. But it is a direct result of stormwater runoff. What happened over there to that side of there was when they constructed the new construction back there and along Cody John Way and everything, before they got everything to where it was draining right, the water would rush across there, rush up into the back of like Ray Foreman's and all the other places up into their yard. I would think that I don't understand why we can't do part of that under stormwater. And I know we've talked about this before, and like you said, it's a real iffy, but it's a direct result of stormwater runoff. And we had it, like 4 years ago when we started talking about this.
But the stormwater's been fixed now, right?
Yeah, it has,
Yeah,
but the
stormwater's
field was
fixed.
never
It's
fixed.
piped.
Yeah, so it drains now and goes under Hickory like it's supposed to and everything. But at that time, when they were doing all that, it would just, you could stand out there and just watch. Looked like a river or something coming through there.
This is approved, will it come from the balance of the ARPA funds?
Yes, it will.
And the intent would be to do it this fall.
Yes.
Has there been communication with the youth organizations that use that space about the need for them to avoid use for a period of time so it can establish?
Yes. A specific date of when they were going to start everything has not been communicated. Yes.
I'm the one that's been pushing to have it fixed. I want it fixed, but when I saw those numbers, I was like,
Make a motion that we approve the bid from Adnet Enterprises.
I'll second.
Motion by David Pyle, second by Walter Hayes to approve the bid from who?
Adnet.
Etnet to provide the dirt hydro seeding, or what park is it?
Country
Country
Club.
Club Park. All those in favor, please signify by raising your right hand. 5 in the affirmative with 3 absent. You may go ahead and contract him, Steve.
Just swallow real hard.
I'm with you. That just seems like an exorbitant amount to me too.
Maybe in the meantime, can we check and see maybe if there's any way we could pull any of it out of stormwater, because then we can use ARPA for anything. Just saying. Even if-
Okay, moving right along. Ordinances. First one is ordinance amending ordinance 2425 to correctly identify Elements Construction Concept as the contractor. Would anyone like to put this on first reading?
Oh, if we put this on first reading by title, it's gonna be a long night with all the
Second.
ordinances.
Motion by Don Allen, second by David Powell to put this ordinance on first reading of title only. Would the clerk please read the title?
An ordinance amending ordinance number 2425, passed on the 20th day of August 2024, approving change order number 1 to an agreement between the city of Carl Junction, Missouri and Elements Construction Concepts Incorporated to complete the Route Z Canal Street Sidewalk Improvement Project Phase 6 for the city of Carl Junction, Missouri. Said amendment to correctly identify the contractor as Elements Construction Concepts Incorporated, but to otherwise ratify and confirm the city's approval of change order number 1, set forth in ordinance number 2425.
Discussion. Mr. Talley.
The first ordinance had own as the contractor inadvertently. I didn't catch it. When we have another ordinance, the next one is with Elements Construction Company. When I went to draft that ordinance, I looked for the first change order and couldn't find it. That's because it was under Own's name. That needs to be corrected. This is all audited and we need to have correct paperwork approving these change orders. My apologies, but we need to pass this ordinance amending the first ordinance.
Make a motion, we
That-
put the
that's-
ordinance on second reading by title only. Second.
Motion by David Powell, second by Walter Hayes, to put this ordinance on second reading of title only. Will the clerk please read the title?
An ordinance amending ordinance number 2425, passed on the 20th day of August 2024, approving change order number 1 to an agreement between the city of Carl Junction, Missouri and Elements Construction Concepts Incorporated to complete the Route Z Canal Street Sidewalk Improvement Project Phase 6 for the city of Carl Junction, Missouri. Said amendment to correctly identify the contractor as Elements Construction Concepts Incorporated, but to otherwise ratify and confirm the city's approval of change order number 1 set forth in ordinance number 2425.
Any further discussion?
We put this ordinance on final passage.
Second.
Motion by Don Allen, second by Carol Wolford, to put this ordinance on final passage. This is to be a hand vote to go to electronic voting. All those in favor, please signify by raising your right hand. 5 in favor, please vote electronically. 5 yeses with 3 absences. The ordinance passes. Now this ordinance number.
2428.
Yay, thank you. Next is ordinance approving change order number 2 with Elements Construction Concepts for the Route Z Pinell Street Sidewalk Improvement Project Phase 6.
We put this ordinance on first reading by title only.
Second.
Motion by Don Allen, second by David Pyle, to put this ordinance on second reading, but on first reading by title only. Will the clerk please read the title?
An ordinance approving change order number 2 to an agreement between the city of Carl Junction, Missouri and Elements Construction Concepts Incorporated to complete the Route Z Canal Street Sidewalk Improvement Project Phase 6 for the city of Carl Junction, Missouri. Said change order number 2 being for settlement costs for differing field conditions offset by material underruns, leaving unchanged the total cost of the project at $265,399, and authorizing the mayor to execute said change order number 2 for and on behalf of the city of Carl Junction, Missouri.
Discussion?
This came from MoDOT, and it makes our contract actual work and contract match then, and it goes back to that auditing purposes, so that when somebody looks at it, they know this was here and this was not. So, because we did have a couple of changes in the conditions that we changed, and we're able to take materials out, so it is a zero cost change order.
Make a motion, we put the ordinance on second reading by title only.
Second.
Motion by David Pyle, second by Phil Wolford, to put this ordinance on second reading by title only. Will the clerk please read the title?
An ordinance approving change order number 2 to an agreement between the city of Carl Junction, Missouri and Elements Construction Concepts Incorporated to complete the Rabbit Seat Canal Street Sidewalk Improvement Project Phase 6 for the city of Carl Junction, Missouri. Said change order number 2 being for settlement costs for differing field conditions offset by material underruns, leaving unchanged the total cost of the project at $265,399, and authorizing the mayor to execute said change order number 2 for and on behalf of the city of Carl Junction, Missouri.
Any further discussion?
We will put this ordinance on final passage.
Second.
Motion by Donald Allen, second by David Butler, to put this ordinance on final passage. This is be a hand vote to go to electronic voting. All those in favor, please signify by raising your right hand. 5 in the affirmative, 3 absent. Please vote electronically. 5 in the affirmative, 3 absent. The ordinance passes. That is ordinance.
2429.
Thank you. Next is an ordinance approving the declaration of deed restrictions for the award of grant funds for Lakeside Park project.
We will put this ordinance on first reading by title only.
Second.
Motion by Donna Allen, second by, is that you, Walter? Walter Hayes. Will the clerk please read the title?
An ordinance approving the declaration of deed restriction in accordance with the covenants made for the award of grant funds in project number 29-01749, Lakeside Park project, administered by the Missouri Department of Natural Resources, limiting use of the property to outdoor recreational use in perpetuity in accordance with 43 CFR Part 17 Civil Rights Laws, and authorizing the city administrator to execute said deed restriction for and on behalf of the city of Carl Junction, Missouri.
Discussion?
This was part of the closeout process for the LWCF grant. This is like what we have in place for Center Creek Park. We took LWCF money years and years and years ago for it. It does then restrict that property to outdoor recreational use. If we ever do anything in the future that takes some of that land away from it, we will have to replace it with like amount of outdoor recreational space someplace else in town. So, I don't, why they wanted the whole park, I have no idea, but they're the ones that sent us the map. It was out of our application, and it was a little strange to me too, but it is.
I asked Steve some clarifying questions about it because it's Lakeside Park in its entirety, not just the playground and pavilion.
When we submitted the application, we used just the property of the pavilion and the playground area when we submitted it, and they rejected that and asked for the legal description for the whole park.
We had a resident here recently inquiring about a change in property line. Would that eliminate that as a possibility?
Yes, it will.
Unless we add that amount of property someplace else in the city to recreational.
But if we don't approve this,
Then we have to pay them the money back.
no.
Or ask for the opportunity to survey off the playground and pavilion, issue the deed restriction for that parcel alone, and leave the rest of the park unrestricted.
Did you say that you had asked and they rejected that originally?
Yeah, originally they had rejected that.
Does this have to be done tonight, or is that something that we could go back to and ask?
No, we could go back to it.
Mr. Talley?
Once we file this deed of restriction, I think we're stuck with it in perpetuity.
Yeah, that's
So we
what he
can't
said.
undo that. I maybe I didn't hear what you said. I thought you were suggesting we could undo this, but if you weren't suggesting that, then my comments are unneeded.
I think they're saying before we pass this, to go back and ask them if they can just reduce it.
I can absolutely send her an email and find out.
So what do we need to do, table?
We'd have to
this then?
table it then, if you guys, what you guys want to do.
I just have a question. If I understood it right, that piece of land that David was referencing, wasn't that the piece behind what had been Mark Elliott's house at one time? Or was this somewhere else?
No, it's
No,
on
this-
Linwood.
Okay.
Yeah, this is right up by the cart shack.
And I'm not asking because I think we should sell anybody's property, but that's very restrictive for the whole park.
Mayor,
Yes, sir.
may I make this observation that we only have 5 board members present, and if anyone does not vote for this ordinance, it's going to fail. It takes all 5 votes. So if somebody knows they're going to vote no, or thinks they might, tabling
Probably have to table it.
Yeah,
is
tabling
what
it.
makes more sense.
At least until we could ask
Mhm.
again, and then if they say no, then I move that we table this ordinance.
Second.
Motion by Don Allen, second by, who was that? Well, David Pyle, that we table this ordinance until a future meeting. All those in favor, please signify by raising your right hand. 5 in the affirmative, the ordinance is tabled. Thank you. And Steve, you're directed to see if we can't change that restriction somewhere. And you might want to explain to her that we have a lady that needs to add on to her backyard and stuff like that. And we're thinking about trying to let her expand her thing like that, and that's what we want to do.
And since they did
You want to
improvements,
consider, not do, consider.
to consider.
Second.
All right. Next is an ordinance adopting protest procedures for the West Briar Lane Stormwater Drainage Ditch Project.
Move we put this ordinance on first reading by title only.
Second.
Motion by Don Allen, second by David Bell to put this ordinance on first reading by title only. Will the clerk please read the title?
An ordinance adopting protest procedures and reviewing protests concerning solicitations or contract awards for the West Briarbrook Lane Stormwater Drainage Ditch Project for the city of Carl Junction, Missouri.
Discussion?
This came from DNR to our engineers. In the contract, there was no protest procedures for this. They adopted it from a similar project in Lamar. And so basically changed the language from Lamar, one that DNR had already approved, and sent us this that we have to have in place for that ARPA money for the stormwater work on West Briarbrook Lane.
Any other questions?
Make a motion, we put the ordinance on second reading by title only.
Second.
Motion by David Powell, second by Roger Spencer to put this ordinance on second reading by title only. Will the clerk please read the title?
An ordinance adopting protest procedures and reviewing protests concerning solicitations or contract awards for the West Briarbrook Lane Stormwater Drainage Ditch Project for the city of Carl Junction, Missouri.
Any further discussion?
Move we put this ordinance on final passage.
Second.
Motion by Don Allen, second by David Powell to put this ordinance on final passage. It's a hand vote to go to electronic voting. All those in favor, please signify by raising your right hand. 5 in the affirmative, please vote electronically. 5 in the affirmative, the ordinance passes. 5 with 3 absent. That is ordinance number,
2430.
thank you. Next, the reports. Long-term projects report. Any question for the long-term projects?
Four Oaks Park is now completed.
I did have a question on our MPUA.
Mhm.
Where are we at on starting our?
Still in the design process. It should be going out for bid sometime this winter.
How many, you got 3 benches installed already at Lakeside?
They're all installed.
You got all 5 of them? I just saw 3
Four.
or 4 of them? Great. Look good. And I assume next week you'll probably finish the walking trail
After bluegrass.
after bluegrass. Yep, I know. It's got a little bit of work to do out there, I understand. Yeah, a lot of work.
Steve, how are we coming on the lighting situation for Memorial Park?
Waiting on Jay to finish up trail work so that then he can go in there and get the pipe and everything in for the lights.
I'll be Veterans Day.
You what?
I'll be Veterans Day.
Good deal.
There you go.
Get yours done, then we can blame Liberty.
Anything else for the city administrator on the long-term projects report?
The only thing, and this kind of goes back to the bid that we just did, because we approved this for them to haul and everything, have we communicated with Schubert? We definitely get their dirt.
Yep.
Okay. I just wanted
Had a
somebody
meeting
else.
with one in the end of the week before,
Okay,
right
I just-
before MML we had.
I just wanted to confirm that we had that from a second source that they were going to do that.
Okay. Anything else? And we'll move right along to the treasurer's report. We've got the treasurer's report here. Any comments about the treasurer's report? If not, we'll move on to public works. Any comments for Jay?
He's been busy.
Tell you what, that's, that concrete you put around the playground looks really good. It's really good. And it's being used a lot.
Yep.
There's a lot of people out there all the time
I was
using
out
that
there,
playground.
there was probably 6 people sitting on all 4 of the benches.
Yeah,
Center Creek looks good too.
yes,
Down,
yes, it does.
it was a little muddy, so I didn't
Yeah,
try
it's
to,
really buddy.
but it looks really good.
Anything else for Jay? If not, we go to PD. Mark's here, so we grill him now. Anything you want to say, Mark?
Started the Shop with the Cop fundraising. Now we've had some run-in with Walmart about how they do gift cards and everything. So whereas usually last week in November or first of December, we take a checkbook and write a $25,000, $30,000 check and get all the gift cards. They have now limited us to $1,000 a day. So we have to play it along with the fundraiser, and as soon as we get $1,000, go buy 2 gift cards. So, but anyway, it has started. We need all the help we can get. Last year was kind of low. We dug into some reserves we had. I hope not have to do it again, but let everybody know.
All right. Anything else for the chief? Very well, and we got a building inspector's report here too.
Yes.
Any comments about the building inspector's report?
Roofing's up again.
Roofing's always, it's always. No comments? Then we'll move right along and go to committee reports, budget, finance. Don?
We met yesterday. Matt Wallace from KPM came and gave the audit report, and I think you all got him if you weren't at the meeting. But very, very good report, very clean report. Couple of recommendations, but nothing that they even thought was maybe mandatory, just some suggestions that we may look into, but very, very good report. So.
Good. Anything else for budget? Okay, code and nuisance. Rick, you're gone. Bob, you're gone. Carol?
Nothing.
All right, we'll move along then to human resources. Roger?
Nothing at this time.
Anything for human resources? Public facilities, David?
Nothing this evening.
Anything else for public? Any questions? Nope. Okay. Economic development, Holly's gone. We don't have anything on economic development. Anybody else want to say anything about economic development? Okay. Then we'll move right along to unfinished business. Carol?
Nothing.
Walter?
No, sir.
David?
No, sir.
LaDonna?
Sorry, yes. A couple things. I think, I heard that we went out for a request for services for a cleaning crew. And a couple years ago, we had said we wanted to see about bringing that in-house with a part-time person. And we've talked about it a couple times. looking at some number, we're spending $2,189 a month for cleaning. We could hire a part-time person, even if we did 30 hours a week without benefits at $15 an hour, we'd still save $300, over $300 a month. Plus, that's with 30. I don't even know if we need 30. We might even 25. I just think it would open up, it'd be a good opportunity maybe for somebody who needed like a second part-time job or job when they had kids in school or something else. So I'm not sure. I thought I know we talked about this like 2 or 3 times now.
We did, and I did put that out, and we only got one response back, and that was from Jana King. And I basically I put it on hold because we only did get one back, and we had that conversation about hiring somebody. And I agree with you. I think we need to look that way.
Yeah, I think that, like I say, I don't even know if you'd need 30 hours a week, but then we could actually assign if we saw stuff that we wanted concentrated on. The only other thing I was going to ask, I know we put through the final for, we got all of the Made in America affidavits and stuff. Have we got back anything else, or is it still being processed on the final?
No, we got back, I want to say it was a $216,000 reimbursement.
Is that final? Is that everything that we've got coming back in?
I don't.
Should be one more.
Yeah, but we're so close to that limit, I'm not sure.
Yeah.
I was going to say, I
It's
think
not-
they've already
it's
hit the
not gonna be
limit.
much, yeah.
Yeah, I think,
I'm not expecting.
well, I just wanted to make sure that us cabling this wasn't gonna.
Yeah, we don't want to get back that $216,000.
No, we don't want to. So anyhow, that's all I had.
Okay. The only unfinished business I have, I mistakenly wished Mr. Tully a happy birthday 3 weeks ago, but I think it's your birthday today, so happy birthday, Mr.
Thank you,
Tully.
sir. Thank you, sir.
We greatly appreciate all the work you do for us.
We told you happy birthday twice.
We're gonna give you more.
And that's all I have.
Nothing.
Nothing, Roger. Mr. Talley,
Not a thing.
Elena,
No, sir.
Crystal,
No, sir.
Steve,
No, sir.
Jay,
No, sir.
Mark.
Nope.
We'll go on to new business. Roger.
Nothing.
I have nothing. LaDonna.
I would just like, for those of you who don't know, Richard Zaccardelli passed away, and somebody's at Mark's door.
Sorry.
Richard Zaccardelli passed away Friday, I believe. And for some of them, people that are new, Richard served 17 years on the council, which is incredible, 17-year public servant. He is the visitation from 5 to 6 Thursday at Simpson with services starting at 6, which I'm feeling it will
It's gonna
probably be
be-
that.
Yeah.
But just so all of you know, because Richard, he was a good guy. He didn't just look out for his ward. He looked out for the whole city and had a heart for everyone, especially the seniors. He was a great advocate for the seniors. So I just wanted to make sure.
He got me to run for council, so don't blame him for that.
Well, I always overlook that when I talk to Richard.
That was the only mistake he made.
Anyhow, just so you know, I wanted everybody to know because he sure gave a lot of himself over the years.
Anything else?
That's all.
David?
No, sir.
Walter?
No, sir.
Carol?
No, sir.
Mr. Talley?
Nope.
Elena?
Sure.
Crystal? Steve?
No, sir.
Jay?
No, sir.
Mark?
Nope.
Is there any other business before the council?
Move we adjourn.
Second.
Motion by Don Allen, second by David Pyle, that we adjourn. All those in favor, please signify by raising your right hand. 5 in the affirmative with 3 absent. We are adjourned. Thank you all for attending. We appreciate it.